Hey, you know what time it is?
It is time for the one, the only Father Matt Frisbee and a sports roundup. Good morning, Father Matt.
Good morning, Dave and Ron, and all our listeners. Good to be with you on this Tuesday morning after Memorial Day. And, with that, I think we should talk baseball first.
Baseball,
yes,
there we go.
And especially all the more as a fan of the Cleveland Guardians, Indians. We talked about them a little bit last week. They were scuffling. They'd played the Reds and were swept by the Reds. They had a 3-game series against the Twins that turned into a 2-game series of a doubleheader. Yeah. They kept getting rained out, and they split that one, and then they had a 4-game series in Detroit. And I'm going to be very honest. I was not expecting much.
Neither was I.
They won the and they won those first 3 games in Detroit, and then Tarek Skubal, ace for the Tigers, last year's American League Cy Young Award winner, dominated them on Sunday. But that's all right. Cleveland took 3 out of 4, which, had it gone the other way, they would have been even farther back in the American League Central Division standings. But they took 3 out of 4. That's good. Now, they lost the Dodgers last night, but, the Dodgers are the new Yankees, so they're tough. But I think we should note for the Tribe, their all-star player, Jose Ramirez, right now, on a 19-game hit streak.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
So, yeah, he's hitting the ball well, but we'll see. 2 more games against the Dodgers. It's tough stuff right there. But the Tigers keep rolling along, despite that little hiccup against Cleveland. The Tigers seem to just keep rolling along here.
Hey, the good news is if the Guardians need a quarterback, the Browns have like 12 of them. and I don't know how that's going. What are you hearing from what's going on with the Browns right now in that quarterback room?
Well, firstly, Dave, I think you may not understand how baseball goes if you think they need a quarterback. But,
it was the best bridge I could build, Father.
But, I haven't heard too much recently, really, other than I did hear a little something, I think, which was that they have been pretty impressed with Shedeur Sanders so far. That, of course, is going to raise some eyebrows and some intrigue for them because, 5 quarterbacks in the quarterback room, including Deshaun Watson, and that's a crowded room. And, it'd be a good question. Can any of those guys throw a curveball, and can any of them maybe hit a baseball? Because the Guardians could use some help in that regard. But we'll see. They've kind of had the voluntary OTAs, and I haven't heard too much, in part because it is baseball season. But we'll see. All that stuff will, we hope, get settled as they get into training camp and closer to the season with preseason games. But
wouldn't it be interesting if after all these years, the Browns, who got it wrong so often in the first round and first overall picks and all that, get it right in the 5th and 6th round? You know what I mean? Who knows? It would be kind of
Dave,
poetic justice.
I could name off quarterbacks they've picked in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, and they haven't panned out either.
Right.
We can think of guys like Charlie Fry and Cody Kessler, and the most famous is one that they took in 1999 in the 6th round, I think, maybe 7th. A guy that no one remembers except poor Browns fans, Spurgeon Wynn. Mm-hmm. They drafted Spurgeon Wynn before Tom Brady was selected by the Patriots in 1999.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Or 2000, whenever it was, either one of those years. So, typical Browns. So we'll see what happens. But it would be some poetic justice if somehow taking a quarterback in the 5th round works out. But we'll see.
Are you watching any of the NBA playoffs?
I have been busy, so I've not been watching any of it, but, I've been keeping up with it. And there are a couple of things to note. Just Oklahoma City Thunder up 3-1 against Minnesota. That's really not too much of a surprise there. In the West. In the East, we really have had a little bit of drama here.
Oh, yeah.
Game one at Madison Square Garden, Knicks and Pacers.
Yeah.
And again, we've talked about just the nostalgia of all that, but Pacers are down, I don't know, something like 15 points. Yeah. 15, 18 points, it seemed.
Down
in
9
the last
with a minute left. 9.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe I was exaggerating. Yeah, down 9.
But with 1 minute.
A minute left in the game. Yeah. And they found a way to send that game into overtime and then win that game. And one of the players from the Pacers, and I forget who it was, did the famous choking
Halliburton
hand motion.
Yeah,
Halliburton, who did that. And that goes back. Reggie Miller did that same thing to the Knicks way back when, and we can thank Reggie Miller. I mean, think about the parallel here.
Oh yeah,
where the Knicks were down in the 90s. They were down something like 9 points with about 18 seconds left, and Reggie Miller scored about 12 to win that game back in the 90s. Pacers are up 2-1. They play again tonight. We'll see. We'll see who wins the series. As was mentioned, the Pacers have been hot for about the last 3 months. I think the best record in basketball for the last 3 months. So they're at home, and I think if we'll see who wins the series. That's why they play these games. But if we end up with an Oklahoma City Thunder Indiana Pacers finals, I think if you asked anyone before the season started, hey, the Thunder and the Pacers are going to be playing the finals, I think everyone would have laughed at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And the fact of the matter, if you're not going to play defense and you're not going to pass the ball, you're not going to win. This is team basketball at its best. Nice, hard picks being set everywhere, boxing out, wonderful defense. It's fun to watch. Again, for the first time for me in a long time, it's real basketball.
Yeah, it's something that people have been saying a lot, especially the last year or two, which is, and maybe they've said it longer in general, but that the play of basketball in the NBA increases dramatically in the playoffs, which you would hope, obviously. I mean, you would assume too, but you do see a greater effort level, I think, than you do in the regular season. And it's something similar. There are a lot of people who talk about playoff hockey too in the NHL, and I have to be honest, I am unaware of who's playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now. But it's going on. It's almost June, so what better time to play hockey?
We know the Walleye are in the Kelly Cup, and meanwhile, over in the WNBA, even though they're not currently playing a game, Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark has just been fouled. A hard foul. So.
She's injured.
She's out for 2 weeks. She's got a hamstring.
Man.
She's got a hammy.
Yeah. All right. Father Matt Frisbee, always enlightening and entertaining. Thank you so much.
That's fun.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Father.
Have a great day.
That's crazy. I watched a little bit of that WNBA. It gets rough out there. I'm just going to tell you.
Man.
Yeah. It's it's not the old days.
No,
They're playing it for keeps. We'll get